And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dublin Shamrocks and the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. Second down. On second down, Cook. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And he finds Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Leopard! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Again, this is Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. 23 yards on the play.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll run with Cook, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
No. Check. Patriot. Back 99, Philly. Here we go.
They'll give it to him up the middle. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They pitch it out to Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Tiger, tiger, tiger. Set. Green the line. Green the line.
To throw on second is Watson. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. The 30. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there. 61 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Dubliners with a football. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. From the gun, here's Watson. Forced out to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Hey, black 22. Black 22.
On third down, that's Blake. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now I would be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal. It's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over as the season winds down, and you look at them in totality. You know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football because, as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
He takes this for 3 to the 29.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Leopard! Leopard!
They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and it'll bring up third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
Watson now to throw. Dancing to his left. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll be out right at the 35. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Come back, come back! Down! Green the line! Green the line!
Watson on 3rd down. And got his man complete. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Reset! Hey! Blue 80!
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Linval Joseph in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? Now Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Blue 80! Blue 80!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And put it on the board. It's 6, a touchdown. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
You talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half to carry that with them. It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mo.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Here we go now.
to throw now on first down. Steps away to his left, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Watch it now, Barney. Set. Blue, landed.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Left side caught by Diggs. A good pickup there at 22.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half. Very
short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Going deep for Hopkins. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and so here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. It's complete to Fuller. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. A nice little juke. Open space inside the 10. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Over this first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll air this one toward Coleman. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He has been interception-prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production, or do you continue to stay with him this way?
And that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Here's Watson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2, now third down. The offense on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The 13 yards that time of the first. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Come back, down.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Open man is QT, complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So that'll back them up 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They're going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get the penalty yardage back, plus 5 more as they get it to 2nd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one, because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
4 down, 4 down. Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
On third down. He'll drop to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Jadeveon Clowney. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's fielded at the 34. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Now Watson from the gun. He'll throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
Two jet. Hey, blue 80. Blue 80. Come back.
To throw is Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. And this offense on third down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Watson now, operating from the gun. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They start the drive with Cook. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Hey. 4 down.
They run it again with Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
They go for just one here as it's up and good, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. He'll pitch it back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. On 2nd and 10, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Come back, come back. Down. Blue 80. Blue 80. Come back, come back.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
And the blitz does come. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Richmond. Hey, black 22. Black 22.
Watson on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Will Fuller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on first down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Bernardrick McKinney not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, 89 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Come back!
Off of play action, it's Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And they'll go on the ground. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Reset!
And Watson's going to throw it here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Handoff comes to Cook. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On the ground, it's Cook. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Now, Barney, Barney.
Back to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt. Back to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. So with 13 on the clock, it's time for an onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. Your defense